Hi guys, I'm Anya Shirashi, video game geek, movie geek, TV show geek, comic book geek, and I'm here this week to bring you a review of American Horror Story Double Feature Part 2, Episode 7, Take Me to Your Leader. Meow! Of course, warning, if you guys hear any bells ringing in the back or any tussling in the back, it's my cats duking it out. For what reason? I don't know. So I will be doing a review for the rest of the season for American Horror Story Double Feature. So make sure you lightly dust that subscribe button to catch me every week, recapping every single episode. So we are greeted by Maria, housewife, and her son Timmy as she's doing her motherly duties. We hear Dean Martin, "That's amore. That's amore." That's your breath popping out, girl. Timmy is playing outside on his bike, and he spots what seems to be like a small little tornado cloud forming, a couple of them. And all of a sudden, all the music stops, and it gets crazy. So she goes to check to see where he is, and all she sees is his little motorcycle thing. I don't know what that's called. So she's freaking out, and then boom, the little kid walks in. Here's Timmy. "I'm here, mother. Everything's okay." And then she's like, "What?" And he has this white glow in his eye, and it seems like he's kind of transferring it over to his mom. Weird. He tells her not to be afraid, but then she starts floating up to the ceiling. So I don't know, if I was Maria, I would be pretty damn afraid. And then her husband comes home, and he thinks he's gonna come home to a good jolly day with casserole, because you know that household makes casseroles. So he comes home, and then boom, he sees his wife float, and she pops his head off. So far I'm liking how campy it is. I like American Horror Story for the camp factor. Sometimes it goes a little bit too left. They reach a little bit too far. Sis, come back. You're reaching too far. Your back can't reach that far. But I like how cheesy, yet it was very captivating. I was very intrigued by what was going on. Gloss break. This story is too much. American Horror Story is too much. Y'all make my lips dry. We're in Palm Springs, and we see the president, Dwight Ike Eisenhower. So he's playing golf, and he gets interrupted. He has business to attend to. There has been an air saucer that landed in the Air Force Base. Ooh. He tells his wife, Mammy, played by Sarah Paulson, that he's just gonna go get a cat for his tooth. At a military base? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. So when he gets there, he sees something in a body bag, which is insinuated it's a child. We don't really see it. You see the saucer leaking all this stuff. And then there's a woman naked crouching behind this shrub tree, and she has these like weird, like sickening patterns on like her back, you know? She has this real cute little short 1960s bob. Is she from the 60s? But this real cute like little shrivel bob. Then she tells him that she's Amelia Earhart. You know, that Amelia Earhart. Girl, what? So when they finally take Amelia Lily Earhart to the base, she basically tells them what happened at her excursion for when she went missing, which was 20 years prior. So it just doesn't add up. It's weird. It basically sounds like she got abducted. Girl got swooped up. And it sounded like she was impregnated by these alien things too, little nasties. But then unfortunately, when they asked who did this to her, she freaked out and just wanted to talk to Fred. Oh, and she's pregnant, 2 months pregnant, missing and pregnant. It's like a new TOC show. So now Eisenhower has this alien, which is a very traditional looking alien. When you think of alien, you think of big head, big eyes, little chin. So he's basically cracking this case open, but literally cracking this alien open, and it's hollow. And then all of a sudden, very alien style, something just like a piece of gunk just pops out and lands on this person's head. And then the other person tries to help them, and then it lands on their head, and it's just chaos, and it's just making their heads explode. As they're leaving, they get stopped by Maria, the housewife who popped her husband's head in the beginning. Not a really good person to run into right now. The president here is trying to de-escalate the situation. He's like, "Maria, the alien, please, like, we don't want more trouble. Like, it's cool, sis." And Maria, the alien's like, "I'm not listening to you. You listen to us." So this scenario is already putting me on edge, because spontaneously having your head just pop off. Oh no, ma'am, I'm not a part of the Suicide Squad, ma'am. And it's so ominous, them just floating and just, oh, the heebie-jeebies, so creepy, so creepy. So now we're in modern day, we're in 2021. We meet Troy, Cal, Jamie, and Kendall, all friends. Yeah, this scene was a lot of information. So we're gonna break it down real quick. Troy, Kendall used to be a thing long ago. Not anything anymore. Troy, Cal, now. Jamie, allergic to her man's semen. Okay. And Kendall doesn't use technology. And she's kind of fucking her philosophy teacher guy, Adam. And Kendall just doesn't like how everyone's always on their phone at dinner. Not just at dinner, in life, everyone's just on their phone. No one's really, connected to the real world. So she's like, I'm not on the phone anymore, so you shouldn't be either, pretty much. And so she convinces them to take this trip to Death Valley with no phone. It's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. So they've been in Death Valley for a couple days, I believe. And Troy's saying how he remembers seeing a water source. But when he goes to backtrack where he saw it, it wasn't there. Like he's tripping balls or something. So they just think he's really bad with directions. And at this point, he's just like, I know it was here, but what the hell? So they keep walking, and then they see one of the weirdest things I've ever seen on American Horror Story. And I've seen a lot of weird things on American Horror Story. There's a bunch of non-bloody cows chopped up in half. So as all normal people do, you walk up to it and then you touch half the cow. That's not what normal people do. So the cow gets these white eyes and starts to like moo, and they freak out. I would freak out if I saw a half-sliced cow mooing. Girl, run. So as this group is trying to leave this desert site when they saw these half cows, the car stops working as they're driving off. They're like an hour away from like the closest town, which is like 10 hours in their mind at this point. It's scary. There's half cows after us. So then everything stops working. The music, the crickets stop working. And then just a beam of light is coming down. Clearly, it's an alien. It's an alien. So at this point, they're panicking. They're trying to call for help. The phone's not working. The car's not working. Their minds aren't working. And when they thought it couldn't get worse, these tentacles starts choking the life out of them. What in the world is going on? This girl is getting choked out in the back seat. All of them are getting choked out. They pass out. Then they wake up. They're all in the car. The two front drivers, Cal and Troy, are flipped somehow, but no one notices at first. Kendall's in the back. She wakes up and then she's like, where's Jamie? And then as they're driving off, well, they drove off and then they realized, where's Jamie? And then they almost hit her. She was like, why is she outside the car? And then she realized that everyone was flipped. And it was just super weird. They clearly just got abducted. So they get back home. Kendall, of course, obviously tells Adam what happens. Everyone's just feeling weird and queasy and just yucky at this point. And when Kendall was on the phone with Jamie, they were both saying how they were both nauseous. So this is like a common side effect that they're all having right now. This is a good story. Let me get my soda. So now back to the two lovebirds laying in bed looking beautiful. He just out of the blue says, hey, but when's the last time I ate your ass? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Because he was also feeling nauseous and he feared he had, I'm gonna look this up, Giardia, which is like a booty hole infection, I think. And abruptly, Troy ended up vomiting in the bathroom too. So Kendall and Jamie take the pregnancy test, and then finally the boys come over. Kendall insists on the boys taking a pregnancy test as well. Weird, the boys are like, what the hell? And they take the test, and Lord behold, the end of the episode, the cliffhanger, they're all prego, my egos. They're all pregnant. This was a very short episode, but it did give us a lot. I felt like I was watching another double feature within a double feature in part 2, because we had the classic 1950s black and white, and then we fast forward to 2021 where it's all. So my standout for this episode is of course Lily with Amelia Earhart. Such great acting, such conviction. She always does flawless, of course. And I really can't wait to see where part 2 of double feature goes. I wonder if they're gonna answer the questions from American Horror Story Asylum that were left. Are we gonna see Kit Walker again? So my theories, judging by this episode, in the 50s, they planted all their seeds of aliens everywhere, and they're just all undercover now. So that's where it goes to in 2021. And unfortunately, the kids who aren't using technology decided to go to a place where it's alien infested. Of course, it's in the desert. It's bound to happen. They got probed, they got impregnated, and that's how the alien species keeps their species going within Earth. And Kaya Gerber did announce that this part 2 and part 1 does connect somehow, because I was really kind of upset with how part 1 ended. That was a crunchy ending. But if they're gonna connect somehow, maybe it'll save itself. So be sure to write down in the comments what you think is going on. Where do you think this season's going? What route is Ryan Murphy gonna take us on this time to work our minds? And of course, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and I will be back next week to be reviewing American Horror Story Double Feature, episode 8 of part 2. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.